Alright, so since Star Trek is a few weeks away, I wanted to talk about one of my favorite crossovers ever. This is probably, one of my favorite crossovers of all time. And this is the DC IDW crossover Star Trek and the Legion of Superheroes. Now, this crossover is about 6 issues long. It was written by Chris Roberson. I forget the artist, but the artwork's really good. I'll say that much. And, yeah, this is probably one of the best things ever. And it's so weird, too, that this actually happened, because this was at a time when no one gave a single fuck about the Legion. Like, everyone gave zero fucks about the Legion of Superheroes. Hell, as much as I like the Legion of Superheroes, I don't know a lot about them. I just think they're a cool concept. And in this story, for those guessing, this is the TOS series. This is the original series Star Trek with, pre-52 Legion of Superheroes. I don't even know if they are part of the new 52. Fuck it, whatever. And this is really weird, because at this time when this crossover was going on, the new 52 was going on, and I still call it total BS, because if you can do this comic, and yet you didn't do the Transformers Justice League crossover we were supposed to get because of the new 52, I call total BS. Because you still could have done it, as like a crossover Earth kind of thing. But I digress. So the story is that a interdimensional being, who I'll reveal later, there's going to be spoilers to this because this comic book's a couple years old, a interdimensional being has more or less hyper-evolved a caveman, which turns out to be a combination in this continuity, which has fused the Star Trek and Legion timelines together, the 23rd century of the Star Trek universe, along with the 31st century of the Legion of Superheroes lineup, and they've merged this being has merged the two timelines together because of his actions in creating Vandar the Stone, which is in this Vandar is a fusion of Vandal Savage and a Star Trek character called Flint, who is also an immortal. Anyway, so in this, the reason why they're brought together is that for the Star Trek group, for the Enterprise crew, the Enterprise is getting some R&R time, and they beam down to San Francisco, or at least they intend to. Kirk, Spock, Sulu, Uhura, Bones, and Chekhov. That's the other one. I'm surprised Scotty didn't go. But they all beam down to intend to get some R&R on Earth. Meanwhile, a small group of the Legion of Superheroes, which is Brainiac 5, Cosmic Boy, Shadow Lass, Saturn Girl, Changeling, and I can't remember the other. Oh yeah, Brainiac 5. Duh. So that small team of Legion of Superheroes. That's the other thing, is that you don't see the whole the Enterprise hardly even factors in here. It just focuses on a small main crew of the Enterprise and a small main group of the Legion. It's not the whole Enterprise group, and it's the small Legion. And you may be thinking, oh, that might hurt the book. Not really. If anything, it makes it, even though both teams are kind of, it makes a big team to follow. I think it does work better rather than because the Legion of Superheroes is literally a legion, so a majority of them might have just been standing around doing nothing. So I think it was a smart idea on Robinson's end to basically just say, hey, let's just get the characters that are, the best known of the Legion and put them in here. Kind of wish Timberwolf was part of the team, though. I kind of wish for that. But anyway, moving on. So for the Legion, what they were doing is that this actually takes place. They're traveling back to the 31st century because this is dealing with the aftermath of a Legion event called the Dark Side War. Not Dark Side War. It's something that I can't remember the event's name, but it's something that heavily involved Darkseid. So in the story, they're leaving, but then they discover, timeline's getting messed up, and they get thrown into this new version of the 23rd century. Now, in this new version of the 23rd century, what is interesting is that it's kind of like it's like an interesting new version of the Terran Empire, the Terran Empire. If you guys don't know what the Terran Empire is, the Terran Empire is a Star Trek thing where it's quintessentially a mirror universe. Rather than have a federation that loved and cared for everyone, no, the Terran Empire is pretty much Earth going out to do what Earth does best: destroy everyone else. Anyway, So in here, this new this new empire has quintessentially ruled a lot of planets, and there's still others out here. Now, even though this is a mainly a Star Trek, TOS series, there are tiny things here and there that do tie in with TNG. We do get to see the Borg in here quickly. We even get to see the Borg homeworld, Taraz. We even get another character. Again, I'll get to him because he's integral. We even get a few other things like the Klingons and a few other places. You might get a little confused if you're not a big Legion fan. I'm not either, so some of the characters when they showed up, I was like, who the fuck is that? Anyway, so here's one thing about this is a 6-issue comic, but the thing is that both teams don't get to meet until the end of the 2nd issue. And they don't officially meet, cross paths until the beginning of the 3rd issue. So we have quintessentially 2 issues of both the Legion and Star Trek going around doing their own thing, more or less. The first issue is just set up. The second issue is, both the group of the Legion and Kirk and his group trying to figure out separately what the hell's going on. And at the end of the second issue, they meet, and you get the quintessential I don't know you, you don't know me kind of thing. And yeah. Now, the other thing you may be wondering, well, that's kind of dumb. You had to wait 2 issues for them to meet, and then the other 3 issues you see them officially work together? That's kind of a ripoff. And yeah, I will agree. I would have preferred to see them actually meet in the beginning of the somewhere in the 2nd issue and go on from there. It does kind of show what I love about crossovers, and that is show that, you give love to both sides, rather than play, strongly on one side and have the other one, the other one look a little cheap. That's kind of one of the things that hurt the Batman TMNT crossover. As much as I liked the Batman TMNT crossover, it was a little hurt by quintessentially depending a bit too much on Batman, and yeah, not enough, TMNT got a little sidetracked here and there. But with this, both the Legion and the Enterprise crew get a lot of love on both ends, and it never feels like one is outdoing the other, as crossovers should. So the story continues, and it's actually kind of funny because the Enterprise crew fights the Legion, and you may be thinking, oh no, the Legion would kick their ass, they got superpowers. Yeah, the Enterprise actually does pretty well a little bit. But yeah, so from there, Brainiac 5 and Spock realize, yeah, we're not really the enemies, everybody stop. And the two discover, look, we're going to find out what's going on, so we need to work together. And from there, after uniting, the two groups split up in a mix 2 teams, like they both mix and match their crew members and team members together. One goes to one point in time, the other one goes heads to the capital of this new Earth Empire to find out who the hell's behind all this. And Spock and Brainiac lead the team that are going into the past and discover that this new being Vandar, which is a fusion of Flint and Vandal, has captured Q from TNG. Yeah, Q was the one who hyper-evolved this being because it's Q, he loves to be an asshole. But what he didn't expect is that Vandar captured him and is using his power to manipulate everyone around him. Meanwhile, in the present, they meet Kirk and the others meet present Vandar, and this is the best part of the comic, by the way. Vandar reveals, this isn't the first time I've dealt with time travelers, and then he takes Kirk and the others into this giant room, and in this room, I shit you not, is all these different time machines. And I'm not saying generic time machines, I mean legit time machines. You've got the TARDIS in there, Barry Allen's Cosmic Treadmill, the Hot Tub Time Machine, I shit you not, the Hot Tub Time Machine, the DeLorean, H.G. Wells's time H.G. Wells's Time Machine, the DeLorean's here, like I said, the dagger, the dagger from Prince of Persia, the dagger from Prince of Persia is also in here, just get your head around that, and there's so many others in there. Even the telephone booth from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Yeah, like I said, that's the best part of the comic book. Yeah, and it's kind of sad too because that means Vandar killed every one of them when they arrived. But yeah, don't worry, time gets fixed. Long story short, this is a lot of fun, and the comic does it does end like, what? Wait, that's how easy it was? Alright. But on the other hand, they do solve it through science, so you got to give it to that because both these are science fiction properties. All in all, this is, like I said, this is a very, it's a very underrated crossover, I will admit, because no one's, the biggest Legion of Superhero. You can't really find a lot of Legion of Superhero fans. But, yeah, this does a lot of credit to them. Even if you're not a big Legion of Superhero fan, this does give you a good run-through of what the characters are and what they are about. So even if you're buying this more for Star Trek, then I would say, yeah, it's a good end. It's a good buy. Although, granted, the trade is about $25, so try to find a little, at a discount price, unless you're like a major fan. Anyway, so there you go, guys. That is my re-review, because I've reviewed this before, my re-review of the Star Trek Legion of Superheroes crossover. And if you've read it, just comment below, let me know. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see. And hope you guys enjoyed this because I think this crossover, like I said, is very underrated. It really deserves some love. I honestly think it deserves some love. Anyway, so once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.